name is Benedek, and in this video we will be discussing about actions in C#, or to more properly say it, about actions delegates in C#. So if you don't know what exactly delegates are, then please feel free to check out my previous video about them. There will be a link in the description below. Okay, but for now, and for those who are already well versed with delegates, let's just start. Okay, so what are these action delegates? Well, these action delegates are nothing else but a way for encapsulating methods with, let's say for now, custom parameter lists, and the main point is that they have a return type of void, so they don't return anything. That's the main point. And these action delegates are actually predefined delegates which were created in the C# language, and they are provided by Microsoft for us. And here you have probably noticed that I use plural, not singular. I didn't say action delegate, I said action delegates, and that's correct because there are multiple of them. Actually, there are 17 action delegates. The only difference between them is about their parameters, their input parameters. That's why I said the thing that they have custom parameter lists. There is one action with exactly 0 input parameters. There is another with exactly 1. There is another with 2 input parameters, and the list goes up to 16. And the main point is that you can map any types to it, because these action delegates are defined generically. So meaning that the types don't really matter, but the only thing is that you have a limitation that only 0 to 16 parameters can be applied, but that's fairly enough, I would say. Okay, so let's just start and see a quick demo. Okay, I have 5 methods here, and actually these are lambda methods, so these are one-liners, so you can use this arrow notation if you only have one operation in a method, or you just return something and that's it. But it's void, so it's the case when we have only one operation. So we have 5 example methods here, and actually what we would like to achieve is to call these 3 methods here, but without using their names, but we would like to only call them with a one-liner. So as you can see, of course this works. So when we call that by their names, they are executing. But the best solution for this is actions. As you can see, I have defined a say hello action. It is very similar, so actually almost the same as the delegate was last week. And if I go to this definition in the system namespace, it is a public void delegate, and by the way, I did it with hovering over it. I pressed the control and clicked it, and that's how you can see the definition of anything basically. Okay, but what is the solution? Actually, if we have any methods with matching signatures to a definer signature of an existing action like this, then or any other actions in our code, then we can just subscribe that method or that methods to this action. And whenever the action gets called, or to more properly say it, when the action is invoked, then all the subscriber methods gets executed. Okay. So while I am subscribing to my action with these methods, then I would like you to subscribe to my channel as well, and thank you, of course. And here, this is the way you can subscribe to any action, and you can call the action and all of these will be executed. As you can see, it's working. Okay, then we can deal with the remaining two example methods. Actually, these are the welcome and the goodbye ones. They are just taking in a name as a parameter and simply greets the user or just says goodbye to them. Okay, let's do it a little bit in an interactive way. So let's create a way to read the user input, like create an answer variable, and we will fill that with the console read line. So we will ask the user for an input, and of course we have to tell them about what we are asking them. So I will say that are you leaving or arriving, and L or A should be the answer. So leaving, L stands for leaving and A for arriving, and the user can uh, answer to that. And there is a best practice that whenever you get an answer, you should parse it like converting it to all uppercase or to all lowercase letters. Now I will go with to lower, and if it's L, meaning that user is leaving, then what we will have to do, I will say goodbye, and I will pass in my name. Else, if it's not L, meaning that they are arriving probably, then I will pass in my name and the welcome method. Okay, but where are the actions in this? I mean, if I go and run it, it asks me, are you leaving or arriving? I will say L, like leaving, and it says goodbye, Benedict. So it's working, okay, but where are the actions? Actions will be created soon. Actually, I've just wanted to create the framework for my example. Actually, what we will do, we will have a generic method. So I would like to call the same method or here, but and pass in these methods as parameters to that method. So I will create a new method like void action caller method, let's say, and this method will take in another method or an action, to be more specific, in as an argument, and it will be an action string because it will be this method or that method, and these are taking in a string, so that's why it has to have the angle brackets and the string here, and that will be the proper greeter method. So whichever is passed in will be referred to as proper greeter in that method, and I will have a name, and it will be also a one-liner, and the only thing it will do is just call the proper greeter method with the name. And we can, to be more fancy, we can create an action for this method as well. So that will look like this. I will say something like public static action. So an action which describes this method. So the parameters are an action of type string and a string. So angle brackets, and I have to say action type string, and it is a string. And it is the, I don't know, the action caller methods action here, like that. Okay. So I'm just showing these things to you, not to confuse you, but to show you that methods can take in other methods as parameters, and even it can go further. So I will assign this action caller method. Oops, okay, and we will call that by this action
but we will, as a first parameter, we will have to pass in a method. So if it's leaving, then we will say goodbye here. So I will call the goodbye with the Benedek parameter as well, and I will call the welcome method here with the name parameter. And if I press F5 and say L, so leaving, then it says goodbye. And if I run again and say A, so arriving, it says welcome. So it's working perfectly. The only difference now is that we don't call the methods directly, but we are calling an action which we have another method mapped to it, and this method takes in the method and or action and calls it with the other name parameter. Okay, I hope you liked it, and I hope it wasn't so confusing, but if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments below, and have an absolutely fantastic day wherever you are, and follow along next time. Bye.